Hey students, this is lesson 321. Here we're going to learn how to work with percent, specifically learn about percent increase and decrease and how to do problems like that. I'm going to go down the bottom of the page here and we're going to start with this problem. It says, as people grow older, they often say that the time seems to pass more quickly. Think about whether 2 years seems longer to you now than when it did when you were 6 years old. So we're going to make a diagram that shows the percent increase in your age from when you were 6 years old to when you were 8 years old. Okay, and to do that, we're going to let's start with this one. And so this represents when you're 6 years old right here. And this also represents 100% of your age. If you're 6 years old, then 6 is 100% of your age. Now, if you increase that age by 2 years, so now we're going to draw a new one, it's going to be a little bit higher, and I'm going to try and make it proportionally higher. And the way I did that is, if I divide 6 into 3 parts, then each of those parts is 2 years. So now here's my 6 on this one, and most of it's the same, but if I add 2 more years, then I'm now up to 8. So now this is your 100%. So I can see here that my age of 8 is actually a little bit more than 100%. Now we want to estimate the percent increase in your age. So what percent is this compared to my original 6? And so if I think about this portion right here, as part of this, that's how much I'm increasing by. And it's actually 1/3 of this 6 here, or 1/3 of this 100%, which is 1/3 of 100 is 33 1/3% increase. So when you turn 8, if you compare 8 to an age of 6, then it's a 33 1/3% increase from the age of 6. All right. Now we're going to make a diagram that shows the percent increase in your age from 2 years ago to now. And so I'm thinking most of you are 2 years ago were about 11 years old. So I'll make a diagram, and let's say this represents when you were 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Chop a little bit off there. So there's 11. And that's going to be our 100% now. Okay. Now, if you get 2 years older from 11, so that's 100%. So right now you're 13, you're going to be just a little bit higher than that, right? So here's our 11 right here, and we're going to add 2 more years to that. So now you're 13. Now, what percent increase is that? And it's actually 2 out of these 11 years, 2 out of 11. And I'll show you a little trick for getting that into a percent. Remember, percent is out of 100, right? So if the denominator is 11, you multiply that by 9, that's 99, which is really close to 100. So if you multiply 2 by 9, you get about 18. So that's actually representing about an 18% increase. So when you go from 11 to 13, your age is only going up by 18%, but when you go from 6 to 8, your age is going up 33 1/3%. So you can now answer this one, C, on your own. If you want, you can pause, or we're gonna go on and do this problem right here. It says, consider the diagram shown at right and estimate the percent change from July to August. Specify whether it is a percent increase or decrease. So we're just going to try and use the diagram. And we have less in August, so it's a percent decrease. So we want to know how much it's going down. So out of this original amount, how much is this little part here? So I'm going to just try and split this up into sections that are about that size. And it looks to me like this space here is about 1/5 of this 100%. So if I split that up, that'd be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So this little part is about, it looks like we're losing about 20% of our original amount. So about a 20% decrease. Okay, I'm here at the bottom of page 2, and what we're going to do is learn how to find percent increase and decrease, and we're going to do it 2 ways. Zoe and Luis have expressed theirs 2 different ways. So, and the problem is we want to see what percent increase it is from going from 84 beats per minute on your heartbeat when you're not exercising to 105 beats per minute when you are exercising. And Zoe here is doing it this way. She takes the ratio, she uses 105 as the part, 84 as the whole, and then figures out what that is out of 100. And when she does the calculation, she gets 125. But that's 125% of her resting heartbeat. So we need to subtract that 100% to actually get the percent increase. So if you do it that way, you have to subtract 100 to get it. Now, Luis here, he is subtracting 84 from 105 first to find out how many more heartbeats he had when he was after exercising. And he's just using that as his part. And then 84 is the whole. And when you figure out that one, you get 25%, which is the percent increase because he already knows the actual amount of increase that way. So both methods work, and I'm going to show you how you can use those methods now. So let's go to number 7. It says there were about 39,900,000 U.S. households with cable TV. In 2006, about 65,500,000 households received cable TV. What is the percent increase? So I'm going to use Zoe's method here. And what she did is she just took the new amount, which is 65 million as her part, and then she used the other number, 39 million, as her whole, and then found what percent that is. So I'll just put an X there over 100. And when you multiply that out, or when you calculate that, and by the way, when you have extra zeros like this, looks like we have 5 extra zeros in both of these. Forgot a 0 there. You can cancel the zeros. They're not going to affect the ratio. So we're going to have to take 655 times 100. So we're doing our cross multiply and divide it by 399. And when you do that, you get about 164%. So in 2006, the number of households with cable is about 164% of the number in 1985. But remember, with her method, you have to find the percent increase, you have to subtract 100% that represents the original amount. And so there's a 64% increase. Okay, and then we're going to use Luis' method here. And what he does is he finds out, so this one actually has a decrease, but we're going to, first of all, what Luis would do is he would find out how much the shoes, the prices decreased first. So the first thing he would do is do 55 minus 41.25 to find out how much decrease there is, and that's equal to $13.75. Then he would use that in his proportion as the part. And the whole is always the original amount, so where they started from, which in this case is 55. And then to find the percent, we would just put X over 100. So we would do 13.75 times 100, do the cross products, and divide that by 55. And that would equal a 25%. percent increase. So with this method, we don't have to remember to subtract the 100 off on the end. So to summarize this lesson, I'm going to put just a little thing down here about how you can figure it out. And this is Luis's way of figuring this out. So if we have our proportion here for finding our percent, it looks like this. So P is still our percent. In this case, it's the percent increase or decrease. And to get that, A is going to be your amount of increase or decrease. So amount of change, which is either increase or decrease. And B is the original amount. And if you use this, you should be good at finding percent increase and decrease. All right. I'll see you next time in class.